Yeah, we're good to go. Thanks, Andrea. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Darcy McLean, the Executive Director of Sask Interactive. It's my pleasure today to introduce Ms. Tobi Lampard. She is the Program Manager with Creative Sask. Tobi will be talking today. Tobi will be talking today about the assessment and application process that we are going to be doing for the Digital Game Development and Financing Equity Fund. Tobi has been experienced in this area, has lots of knowledge, and so this lunch series is designed by Creative Sask to communicate with the community about how the assessment of the fund is conducted and how the process and application is designed. Looking forward to Tobi's talk here in this Lunchroom series. And I'd like to thank you again for joining us today. And please keep an eye out for future Lunchroom series that are coming from Creative Sask. So Tobi, the floor is yours.
Great, thank you so much, Darcy, and thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. So I just want to start off with Creative Saskatchewan offers programs into the entire province of Saskatchewan in treaties 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10, which encompasses the unceded territories of the Nehiyawak, Anishinaabe, Dakota, Lakota, Nakota, and Dene nations, and is the homeland of the Métis Nation. So welcome, everybody. All right, just quickly, we're just going to recap that, just so everyone's aware, that Creative Saskatchewan invests in productions, marketing, and capacity development projects in the following sectors: craft, visual arts, live performing arts, music, book publishing, film, TV, and digital interactive. Today, we're diving into the Digital Game Development and Financing Program. So this program provides financial support for games and e-learning properties. It is an equity program, and I will dive into equity later into the presentation. The goal of this Lunchroom series talk is to give you a good sense of the program and to entice you to have a strong cup of coffee or tea and spend some time with the guidelines and assessment criteria. All funders say read the guidelines and criteria, reach out to the program team once you've taken a look. And that's basically so you have a well-informed conversation and have some good questions to go through. So we're going to go an overview of the guidelines, the assessment criteria, and how to apply, with the goal to see if this program is a fit for you and your projects. Okay, let's dive in. So, like many funders, we'll say go to the website. With Creative Sask website, you want to go to the investment program tab and select your industry. So it'd be go to investment programs and then digital interactive, and select the Digital Game Development and Finance Equity Fund. That's where you want to go to find all this information. So when you get there, you want to scroll down a bit to the guidelines and assessment criteria. Of course, you probably want to read everything, but you really want to focus in on guidelines and assessment criteria. What you're looking for with any funder is, are you eligible? Is your company eligible? Is your project eligible? And then you want to look at the timing. Is the timing right for you to apply? When is the deadline? You want to have a lot of considerations. Is it really busy in your business right now? Do you have the time to invest to write an application? What's happening in your life? And if all those things seem to check out and look good, then you want to dive in and see if it's worth your time making this application. And I hope it is. So we're going to just quickly go into eligibility. With the Creative Saskatchewan Investment Fund, there's core eligibility criteria. For an individual, you need to have filed your income tax return in Saskatchewan the year preceding the year you're applying for support. For a corporation, you need to be incorporated and registered to carry on business in Saskatchewan, and the majority voting shares have to be owned by Saskatchewan residents, basically live here, pay taxes here, and are involved in the creative industries. For the Digital Game Development and Financing Fund, applicants need to own more than 51% of the project and receive revenue from sales. That's specifically for this program. So when you're looking at eligible projects and expenses, you start to get definitions of what is eligible here. What does this program support? Well, it's really games and e-learning properties that are ready for market and ready to be sold. So you want to, when it comes to e-learning, you do want to note that it has to have interactivity, engagement. It's got to be engaging commercial activity. So when you're looking through the guidelines and assessment criteria, these are the questions you want to be asking yourself about your project. One note is you can apply at any stage of development. However, the final game must be delivered at the end of your project. Okay, some more ineligible expenses, project expenses. Capital expenditures are not eligible for Creative Saskatchewan funding. I noted that you can apply at any time during the development of your game. However, expenses incurred prior to your application date are not part of your budget and are not eligible. The other thing to consider is that service work is not eligible. So for example, if a game company is being hired to create a game and the company does not own the IP or profit from the sales when the game is released, it is not eligible for this program. Deferrals and in-kind expenses are not included in your project financing or project budget. However, it is really important to understand your time at fair market value can be included in the budget and can be included in your project financing. What do I mean by this? If someone's volunteering their time, it's not part of your budget. However, your time at a fair market value is included in the budget and can be included in your project financing. Okay, just diving a little deeper into the budget, your time is considered in-house. It's in-house refers to the portion of the budget item that will be spent within the applicant's own business, organization, or group. In-house is defined as a business conducted within one's own company. So an example of in-house activities would be project work done within the company by salary staff or yourself. So here's a very bland example. I don't think anyone is getting paid $5 an hour, but that's my simple example here. You're getting paid $5, you're doing 5 hours, that's 20, you're paying yourself $25. So you're paying yourself $25 and you mark that down as an in-house expense. One note for this program, you do have to include a cash flow. So if a cash flow is new to you, you want to seek out, you want to research it, you might want someone on your team to do your cash flow for you. Maybe you have a bookkeeper, but you want to be aware if cash flows are something that you do day-to-day business, no problem. If cash flow is a little new to you, you want to give yourself the time to do your research and get that together because it is part of this program's application. So you can apply up to you can apply for up to $100,000 or 50% of the total cash budget. Creative Sask won't release any of the funds until the project is demonstrated as fully financed. Just a quick note, if you're applying for the maximum $100,000, that means your budget's $200,000. So you really want to make sure that you demonstrate to the jury that your team has experience managing that level of budget and project. And you don't have to apply for the maximum. You can apply for a lot less, whatever works for you and your project. Okay, financial participation is an equity investment and it is recoupable and you do have to report on it. We're going to dive into equity a little later. Okay, you know you're eligible, your project's eligible. How do you put your best foot forward? What questions are you going to be asked? That's the assessment criteria and you can find it all on the website. We'll quickly go through it. These are the questions that you will be answered and scored on exactly word for word. So you want to set up your describing your business, your target market, and you want to look also at the scores. You can see describing your business is worth 3 points. Your target market is worth 5 points. Description of the project is 10 points. That's weighted a lot more. So you might want to spend a bit more time describing your project. That's a place where you really want to focus your time and energy explaining it to the jury. And you can see this prompt question, is the proposed project suited to the commercial marketplace? That's what the jury wants the answer to. So you want to answer that question with a strong rationale and with real examples of past work and experience. There's also impacts. So you're looking at goals and objectives. How is this project going to move your career forward, your company's trajectory forward? You want to talk about project financing. How are you going to finance the other 50%? Do you have experience managing this budget level, or does someone on your team have that experience? Then profit recoupability. This is an equity program, so they are looking at what's the potential on recoupment? What are sales going to be like for this game or e-learning platform? E-learning game, sorry. Whoopsie. Oh no, I lost my face. Sorry, guys. Okay, once you go through all of that, you go to the online management system where you make your application. And basically, you're going to be asked all of those questions online. The one thing with our grant management system, what we call GMS, is that it operates business hours. So if you're having a tech issue, Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 4:30, you're good to go. On the weekends, we're not here. So you want to be aware of that in case you're working on an application and you're having troubles. You want to give yourself time if you are having tech issues. We try to have deadlines on a work day that everybody is here and can give you that support, but you want to know that. You also want to save regularly. So just some little tips on the management system. Also, go in there. Have a look, get familiar with it, not the week before, but maybe a few weeks before, so you can figure out any tech issues you might have. There are also templates to be downloaded and uploaded. So you want to get those templates. You want to feel comfortable with them well before the deadline. Okay, I said we're going to dive into equity a bit, so here we go. If you have experience with equity, fantastic. If it's something new to you, you want to research it, you want to get a bit more familiar with it. So you might want to consider some business workshops or reaching out to professional members of your team, friends or colleagues to really get an idea of what this equity concept is all about. On our website, creativesask.ca, we do have equity investment. How does equity work? And how it works with Creative Sask. You can click on that and you will get a PDF that summarizes. And part of this PDF is here. So you'll find information on recoupment and profit participation. So what does this all mean? Basically, when your project is done and you sell your game, you share revenue with your equity partners. They recoup their investment. So you're basically paying your partners, including Creative Saskatchewan, a percentage of the net revenue. Then success. Once you're in a profit position and you're making profit, you now move into profit participation, which I'm going to get into. All right, here's an example from our template. Your project is going to cost you $50,000. So Creative Saskatchewan is going to put in $25,000. Your company is going to put in $25,000 to make up that $50,000 project budget. So all net revenue is going to be split 50-50 until both equity partners are paid back. And then, like I said, success. Everybody's been paid back, and now you're at a profit participation. Creative Saskatchewan will forgo half of its profit participation to the applicant. So net profits are split, in this example, 25% to Creative Saskatchewan and 75% to the applicant company. Where does this money go that's being paid back to Creative Sask? It goes straight back into this program to fund more great, exciting Saskatchewan games and e-learning games. So just to keep on track here, it is net, not gross. Creative Saskatchewan understands that, sales and keeping game enhancements cost money, and those are deducted before any recoupment or profit. Okay, I alluded a bit to this, timing. A lot of people want to know when the results are going to be. It's about 8 to 10 weeks after the deadline. Also, in terms of timing, is when you want to apply for the funds. You want to get familiar with our online platform. You want to get familiar with those templates. If you have questions, you want to book time with the program team to go through them. It'll make your application a lot stronger. So give yourself that time. Look at where you are in your life. Is this a good time to apply? Are the stars aligning? The other thing to note is our applications are due at 4 p.m. We do this so if there's any tech problems, we can help you out. We don't want anybody to be in a position where you're applying at midnight and no one can help you if you're having a tech problem. Okay, so you're approved, you'll get a letter of commitment, and then you'll get a long form agreement, which is a whole nother webinar. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But the one thing that I will note is if you're not successful, you do get your scores. And in this program, you will get some consensus jury feedback that could help in future applications. Okay, now I've done all of this, and now I'm going to tell you that this program is under review. So what does that mean? We're looking at when a program is under review, we do consultation and public surveys. So we are going to be doing a public survey on starting October 15th to October 31st. And basically all program recommendations are going to be on this survey, so we can get the Saskatchewan gaming businesses to give feedback on these recommendations. And those recommendations are then taken up and program refinements are made. So we do expect program changes for this program starting April 1st, 2022. So look forward to another exciting Lunchroom series where we do new program guidelines and even perhaps assessment criteria. So I have been talking a long time, so I will take any questions, but before we go, I want to let you know that this is our staff. Reach out anytime. We do video appointments, especially with COVID. You can book a chat. We can go through your project, assessment criteria, and answer questions. All right. I went through that pretty quickly. I hope that that was clear and made sense. I will put it out to Andrea if anybody's put any questions in the chat.
I'm just taking a peek here, Toby. It doesn't look like we've got any questions right now.
Great. Okay, well, this will be available on our website at probably next week or so. If you know anybody who's thinking of applying and might benefit by going through this, it's only 20 minutes, so that's not bad. Hopefully not too dry. So again, thank you, everyone. Thank you to Sask Interactive and Darcy for joining us today. Really appreciate it.
All right, have a good afternoon, everyone.